the second biggest challenge after money was to convince the bar subway station that allowed us to shoot there. And in the beginning, when we started making this film, it was getting the rights and getting the family to agree to want to do this and tell the story.
You know, everything that happened in the film is based on real events. We didn't fudge anything. We didn't make this up. Oscar Grant was a real person, and I think that his story was, you know, the truth sometimes is stranger than fiction, and you know, the way things work out, it was kind of reflected in that. So I got jacked pretty bad by some cops. LAPD roughed me up pretty bad, and it kind of felt like they were trying to put us back in our place. I guess, you know, any pride that we had from, you know, seeing that happen with the president, they were kind of, you know, it was, and so taking that experience, again, I felt a sense of joy that the new year was coming and President Obama was going to take office and the inauguration was coming up.
You had said that part of your intent was to humanize this gentleman, and the young man whom I'm with made a very powerful observation a few minutes into the film, and he asked me the question, is this story going to be all one day? And I thought that was a really interesting observation, so I'm curious, there are a lot of ways that you could have told this story, and I'm curious as to why you all decided to humanize him by sharing his day with us.
It's funny, Ryan always, pretty much from the first day that he talked to me about doing this film, he always wanted it to be what's called a slice of life. This takes 24 hours in a day in the life of a person. You guys may have seen, you know, Do the Right Thing. I kind of followed Mookie through 24 hours, and there's some big event that happens at the end of this. But what happens is, you know, as you walk with Oscar, just in one day of his life, you feel like you know this person, and I think it's, the funny thing is, you know, when you follow a person, and any person, you realize they're not that much different than yourself.
I grew up at 5519 Larchwood Avenue, 18th Police District. I was born in 1957. So I was a teenager in the 70s. Now in the 1970s, when I was a teenager, there were two groups of folks that you were primarily afraid of. The gangs and the police. The 18th District is at 55th and Pine. It's a block away. A couple pieces of advice I got when I was a kid. First was, my father said, son, if you ever get arrested, don't call. You will be sitting in jail for a while. That's very inspiring.
I'm from North Philadelphia, and to see a movie like that and to actually to get emotional, it was a very great movie. And it's two things that I personally took out of it that I felt like that was important, because at this point in my life, I actually deal with working with kids. And one of them things are, for one, is justice, but outside of that, what a lot of people tend to look over is the fact of the reaction. Every situation that's happening where you have a young African American man being murdered, it's important nowadays that we tend to teach everybody, that we tend to teach our youth the purpose of humility and patience. Because if we start to think about what it is that we're going to do and what it is that we're going to say, then it'll also eliminate some of the things that some of these murders.
It's a daily focus of ours to make sure that people treat folks like they want their family to be treated. And when they cross that line, they get in trouble and many of them get fired.
And still, even though they were like harassing them and telling them to sit down, he still got to listen. So it wasn't his fault that they did that to him, but still got to listen.
Each one, teach one. to preach one. Each one, teach one, to preach one.